Imagine a patient walks into the ER. They aren't just short of breath, they are drowning. They are drenched in sweat, gasping for air, sitting bolt upright, clutching the bed rails in sheer terror. Their blood pressure is skyrocketing past 200, and their oxygen levels are plummeting into the 70s. If you think this is your standard run-of-the-mill congestive heart failure, you're wrong. And if you treat it like normal heart failure, your patient might not survive the hour. This is SCAPE, Sympathetic Crashing Acute Pulmonary Edema, and today we're breaking down the deadly death spiral of this condition and how to stop it in its tracks. To understand SCAPE, you have to forget everything you know about chronic heart failure volume overload. In normal heart failure, a patient slowly builds up fluid over days or weeks. Maybe they gained 10 pounds from eating too much salt. But a SCAPE patient? Their total body fluid volume is usually completely normal. They don't have too much fluid, their fluid is just in the wrong place. It's a catastrophic issue of fluid redistribution. It all starts with a sudden trigger. It could be severe acute hypertension, a silent heart attack, or sudden compliance failure. This trigger causes the body's sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, to completely panic, releasing a massive wave of catecholamines, like epinephrine. This adrenaline surge causes severe, widespread narrowing of the blood vessels. Suddenly, the heart is pumping against a massive wall of resistance. This is an extreme spike in afterload. Because the left ventricle cannot pump against this immense pressure, blood instantly backs up into the left atrium and straight into the lungs. The pressure forces fluid right out of the capillaries and floods the alveoli. This is flash pulmonary edema. And here is the terrifying part. As the patient suffocates, their anxiety and air hunger escalate. That panic triggers even more adrenaline, causing more vessel narrowing, forcing more fluid into the lungs. It is a vicious, accelerating death spiral. SCAPE is a true medical emergency where the patient is trapped in a vicious, accelerating cycle. Sympathetic surge, or stress, massive vasoconstriction, extreme afterload spike and fluid shift to lungs, severe hypoxia, more sympathetic surge, panic, or air hunger. SCAPE is a pure clinical diagnosis. You don't wait for a chest x-ray or lab results. You diagnose it the second you see the patient. Here is what you see. The vitals. A massive blood pressure spike. Systolic is easily over 160, often breaking 200. The heart rate is racing, breathing is dangerously fast, and oxygen saturation is dangerously low. The appearance. The patient is in profound respiratory distress. They will often be tripoding, sitting forward, hands on their knees or bed rails, desperate for air. They're often pale, cyanotic around the lips, and drenched in sweat. The sound, if you put a stethoscope to their chest, you will hear loud, coarse crackles throughout all lung fields. They may even be coughing up a distinct, frothy, pink-tinged sputum. Because this is a sudden pressure problem and not a gradual volume problem, the traditional heart failure treatment of oxygen and a fluid pill will fail. It's simply too slow. To save a SCAPE patient, you must immediately change your paradigm to focus on aggressive afterload reduction and respiratory support. There are 3 critical steps. Step 1 is NIPP, non-invasive positive pressure ventilation. You need to get them on CPAP or BiPAP immediately. This isn't just for oxygen. The positive pressure physically pushes the fluid out of the alveoli back into the blood vessels. It decreases the immense work of breathing and helpfully reduces the preload returning to an already struggling heart. Step 2 is high-dose nitroglycerin. At normal doses, nitroglycerin just dilates the veins. But in SCAPE, we need to open the arteries to break that wall of resistance. This means giving aggressive IV boluses followed by a high-dose continuous infusion. By opening those blood vessels, the afterload drops instantly, allowing the left ventricle to pump forward again and breaking the sympathetic cycle. Step 3 is deferring loop diuretics. Hold the Lasix. Remember, these patients are not fluid overloaded. Giving high-dose diuretics too early can cause a dangerous drop in blood pressure once the sympathetic crash is fixed. Diuretics simply do not work fast enough to save someone in this acute window. Use them only after the blood pressure and breathing are fully controlled. The incredible thing about SCAPE is that while the crash is terrifyingly fast, the recovery can be just as spectacular. Once you aggressively lower that afterload with high-dose nitrates and positive pressure, these patients can improve dramatically within minutes. Recognize the surge, skip the slow treatments, and aggressively break the pressure cycle. If you found this breakdown helpful for your clinical practice or studies, hit that like button, drop a comment below on your experiences managing flash pulmonary edema, and don't forget to subscribe for more high-yield medical breakdowns. Stay sharp out there, and I'll see you in the next video.